Hi everybody. I hope by now you have watched the pumpkin inspiration video that I created for you and saw all the different ways you could use pumpkins in a picture. In the video, I talked about the creative process, and the first stage of the creative process is inspiration, and that's really where you all are right now. You're gathering ideas, thinking about how you might want to draw your pumpkin picture. And the next stage is planning. So now you have your ideas, and now you're going to plan out how it's going to look. I mentioned thumbnail sketches, and here I've created 3 simple thumbnail sketches of some ideas that I have that I kind of got from that inspiration video. You can see that they're not very neat, they look quickly done, and they don't have much detail to them. It's just a map as to where I want things to go. But before we can even start creating anything like this, we need to practice how to draw pumpkins, because that is our inspiration. So I have my paper here and a pencil, and if I do not give any instruction, a lot of times this is the type of pumpkin I will see. And this pumpkin is not a bad pumpkin. It's just a flat pumpkin. It's two-dimensional. And I want to show you how you can start to make your pumpkins look more three-dimensional. So I'm going to show you 2 ways. This first way is probably my favorite. And you want to start with something that's ovalish. And then right up by the top here, I'm going to come out and around. I'm going to try to keep the bottom of the pumpkin flat so it could sit. I come back here again, go around and down and around and down. The center here is where the stem would go. So I don't know, I like that pumpkin. But there's another way you might want to try, and it's very similar to this, but it starts out with the whole pumpkin shape, just like that. So something roundish. And then you make those curved lines. And then this part here is where the stem goes. So you can see and decide, maybe practice both, see which one you like better. Now, there is a problem that I see that some kids have when they're drawing pumpkins, and I'm going to demonstrate that. Maybe I'll demonstrate it right here. When they're trying this pumpkin here, they might start out with the shape, and everything starts out really well, but then they start bringing that bottom one around underneath like that. So that comes out and goes around like that. So you can see how this part is rounded just like the top part. So you want to avoid that and try to keep that flat. Alright, so now you've had your inspiration, your planning. Now you're going to move on to creating. And creating is when you feel comfortable enough drawing pumpkins that you can start on good paper. I have a couple examples that I've drawn on good paper, and this is just 3 pumpkins. This one is overlapping here and the small one off to the side. The pumpkins in all my pictures are going to be the focal point, the most important part of the picture. So I could have gone with this. Another idea that I had that I used as a thumbnail sketch was the farmer's field. And I drew, this is the farmer's field, and I drew my pumpkins. Again, they're right up front because they are the focal point of the picture. And then still, I am showing you this one. And this, again, I got from the inspiration video. I liked how they drew the pumpkins and then on the inside used pattern. I tried that. And then the one that I settled on, because you're only drawing one on good paper. I'm showing you on good paper just to show you what it looks like. And I liked the pumpkin in the corner, drawn nice and big, and then these sections of pattern. And you can see that after I've drawn with pencil, I went next to permanent marker, so pencils first, then permanent marker as an outline. If you don't have a permanent marker at home, you can use a crayon or a colored pencil. So now I'm using my colored pencils to go about finishing up coloring. And I have a sharpener here. Of course, we're going to be using orange because we know pumpkins are orange, but we're also going to use yellow because it's kind of nice to get in the habit of overlapping your colors. It just helps to make things look a little bit more realistic. So I've already started here. I'm going to work on this one. So I'm going to take my orange colored pencil and I'm going to hold it and press down with a medium pressure. And a medium pressure, I'm going to be able to fill in the paper nicely. Okay, and it goes pretty quick. A heavy pressure, I'll show you in a few minutes. And then I'm going to take the yellow and the same thing. I'm going to overlap here. Just adds a little bit more dimension to that orange color. Now the heavier pressure I'm going to take and I'm going to press down a little bit harder and go right around those lines because that's where the shadow would be, and it's just a little bit of a shadow. So let me do my last one here. I'm going to go back to that medium pressure, trying to keep my coloring lines going in the same direction. And taking the yellow and overlapping. Overlapping is just putting something on top of something else. And then take the orange again and pressing a little bit firmer to make that deeper shadow line there. So there you have it, a little bit on coloring as well. I hope you have fun, and I certainly can't wait to see what you come up with. Remember, your pumpkin has to be the most important part of your picture, no matter what type of picture you're making. You want to draw them big, color nice and neatly, and don't forget, outlining really helps to make things stand out. I can't wait to see what you do.